Hi, welcome to today's healing. I'm Kristen, and if you're joining me today, that means that you are ready to make a change in yourself and the world around you. Today, we're going to be talking about the first chakra, the front and back side. Remember, the front side deals with the human side of us, and the back side deals with the soul. It is the soul side of us. But what I'm going to do first is chime my little tuning fork and say Om so we can kind of open this. And there are so many different tuning fork frequencies, and there are at least 3 or 4 that you can deal with the first chakra. So I am just going to do the 5th dimension at 528 frequency, because when I have tried to use tuning forks on people for certain chakras, they don't always coincide, and everyone is so different. You know, their frequencies are different. It really makes it difficult to find the right frequency. So I just use my hands and my own intuitive nature and my energy. But I am going to do 528 so we can kind of get into that realm of the 5th dimension when we talk about the chakras. So here we go. Ready? All right, thanks for joining me if you did. Thanks for listening if you didn't join in. That's fine. All right, let's get started. And again, I have to read this so I don't forget it. Otherwise, I will just skip on or go on to something else. I don't know. Okay, here we go. Chakras are our energy centers. The first chakra is located at the base of the spine and the genital area. When fully functioning, the first chakra gives us the awareness of I am. This is the awareness chakra, commonly referred to as the base or the root, and is the center of the fight or flight response. We all have heard of that. That's the reptilian brain, fight or flight, and that is the root chakra. Basic needs of the root chakra is where the life resides. And those basic needs are family values, beliefs, and heritage, original feelings about ourselves, our right to exist and to occupy space. And I know that a lot of people have thought about this, their right to exist or to occupy space or just be a person. And this is very sad to me. I don't think I've ever felt like this, but you wonder about your existence, and all the things that might have happened to you as a little kid or throughout life. And it's just sad. And I hope that people can move forward out of this. Our right to be loved. This is another one that, I don't know if I've ever felt this either, but yeah, maybe I have felt unlovable. How could someone so wonderful love me? And I know that a lot of people struggle with this. So if you can heal that root chakra, then you're going to make leaps and bounds and really stride into that future of being lovable. And at the end of this video, I am going to do some energy work on the root chakra, on the first chakra. our right to get our needs met. And this is another one. So many people struggle with the first chakra. And to be honest, I still have issues that I struggle with from my past. And I have been realizing this. We can, when it's happening to us, sometimes we're not sure of what's going on. We just don't realize it. And I realized this last 2 weeks that, I still have a lot of work to do on my root chakra. And I am overweight. And today, I had a mind shift over the last few days, and it was like, today is it. So I got up this morning and I started off with an easy chair yoga. I used to go to the gym and be very active in this and that. But today I got up and did some arm exercises and chair yoga. So I was really proud of myself. And I even told my daughters, because they're like, Mom, you're always saying you're going to exercise. But today I did. So I texted them and I told them, guess what? I exercise. So we'll see if I can keep going, which I believe I can. Programming to meet our basic needs of housing, sex, food, just our basic needs that need to be provided for us or provide for ourselves. Material energy for, achieving life's purpose. And if we can clear out that root chakra, then we can be a lot clearer as to our life purpose and move forward toward that, which is very invigorating. This regulates the physical realm. So all things physical begin in the root chakra. And here's something very important. Nothing happens in your life until it happens in the root chakra. So there are things you cannot move forward if you can't allow it to happen in the root. And so I am actively working on it, and I really hope that you are too. It's very, very freeing. It frees us up to what is possible in life. Root of awareness and all that happens physically. This is the source of our passion, raw primal feelings such as rage, joy, anger, things like that. These are your basic feelings. This is linked to the Kundalini energy and the raw earth energy. And I've spoken of the Kundalini energy before. And the Kundalini lies in the root chakra. This is a very powerful energy that will run up your chakra, all of them. And when I attune people, which is very rare because they have to have an innate sense and ability to this energy. So when I attune people to Reiki, I start at the base and then, I move it up because I'm helping that Kundalini energy to awaken and arise. It's very powerful. This Kundalini and the root chakra is symbolized by the snake, the serpent, or the dragon. Powerful energy when fully cleared and aligned. This is very powerful, and when it is active, you're going to feel it, but you've got to clear out that root chakra. And sometimes if you're doing work on your root and you feel very inspired. You will feel some heat in your down by your tailbone and at the base of your spine. And then if you think intuitively and with intention and really focus, you can see it rise and you can feel it rise. The yang energy relates to how we put ourselves out into the world and how successful we are at surviving. The yin energy relates to how well we are able to receive material assistance and to keep our will to live. Sensory impressions enact body aches and pains, sensitive to smells, touch, or feelings. Some people get sick in a way to becoming aware of a problem or a major spiritual shift. I have gotten very ill, like when I was in massage school and we were doing one of the Eastern techniques. And I came home and it had just, everything was shifting and out of place. And I was so sick for about 2 weeks. It was awful. But I knew that I was clearing out a lot of old crap. And I knew that I was aligning and that I was having a major spiritual shift, and it happened. So sometimes we get ill, and that's when we're clearing out things spiritually, and then we move into that shift or out of it or wherever you are. Problems that arise are addictions, sexual dysfunction, family problems, and child abuse issues. These are like core root from our past that we carry with us. Basically, all past issues are centered in the root. In the intuitive sense, the root receives and sends physical sensations that have us look at a soul or spiritual issue or need involving a higher learning and a call for significant change in a lifestyle. Sometimes things can happen to us that we think is devastating, but then we realize we needed a change in order to further, our lives for the positive, our purpose. Maybe we've been totally stressed out and, we get fired. And it's like, that's devastating. But then you find another job that is perfect for you. And there's really a lot less stress. And so if something devastating happens, realize that it could be the universe talking to you and saying, you need to make some shifts and changes here. So think of it that way. I mean, sure, it's devastating. My God, your first instinct is to be like, oh, what God, what happened, But then if you sit back and really ponder and think about it and, what can I do now? What more is coming for me? That is, what you can think about. What more is possible for me now? Now we're going to move to the back side of the chakra, the soul side. The backside or soul of the first chakra is located in a lower frequency dimension. As we move up into the chakras, as you know, they vibrate at a higher frequency. And so our root chakra is basically the lowest vibrational level, because that can vibrate with shame and all of those under 200. It serves as the excuse me. It serves as the foundation for our life experiences. Through our soul, because we are a soul living a human experience. Our soul activates our human experiences. And so this is where our soul lies with the human experiences. Boy, that didn't come out right. I'm sorry. It contains all the beliefs and experiences we have ever held regarding our rights to manifest, create, and flourish on the physical plane. The soul side is what activates the human side of our chakra. And through the soul side comes the light of the universe. Isn't that exciting? And it opens up that chakra to make it possible to heal. Through the soul side of the first chakra, we can tap into the core belief systems that affect all natures of our being. This is where the Kundalini, I can't speak today. This is where the Kundalini energy lies, and this is the energy we want to tap into. When we tap into and ignite this life flame energy, we are able to open ourselves to our passions, drives, and desires. When the backside of the first chakra is healed, we can receive all energies needed to actualize our physical dreams and needs, because we realize that we are physical beings of the divine source's expressions. If the first chakra's soul side is healed, we can move beyond inherited problems and old wounds, leading us to abundance, worthiness, complete health, and a belief in our own sacredness. Attributes included in the soul side of the first chakra include the programming of our DNA. This is where the DNA is. Well, I mean, it's through our whole body. But the backside of our chakra, the first chakra, is where everything manifests. We are aware here. It coordinates the genetic passage of the collective past. This is where procreation, where we feel a sense to procreate. This is where there is a belief we are deserving of physical life being. When not believing in our own goodness, we fall to anger, rage, and disappointment. This is universal love energy. Limited amounts of manifestation energy, when willing to open to the divine source, serves as the meeting ground of the sacred. So, if we can heal that first chakra, we are really on our way to our life purpose and just living our best human experience. So let's do some energy work. I am going to ding this little tuning fork again. All right, let's get ourselves maybe to that fifth dimension. All right, first I'm going to start with the chakra, the top chakra, the seventh. and move down the front. I feel it. I feel it. And now just circle around your genital area. And then with your other hand, touch the back of the sacral. Your tailbone area, your lower back, and just keep moving around in a circle. Make it bigger and bigger and bigger so that you are enveloping all of the chakras. And then move down the back. And then circle around at your tailbone and your base of your spine. Now move it down your legs and out your toes. Tap your toes. All right, that was fast, that was easy, but that is something that you can do on your own. And this is really going to open you up and help you heal that first chakra. All right, thanks for joining me today. And remember, go out and change the world. I will see you next time. Bye-bye.